honestly love when we have the conversations about history, about stacks, about facts, about what the fuck is going on, because you hit people with these kind of facts, they just don't be ready.
This is John Brown, born May 9th, 1800, passed away December the 2nd, 1859. And when I say passed away, I do mean hung in the middle of downtown West Virginia by his good old Christian brothers. See, John was weird. He was one of those white guys in the 1800s who believed slavery was like bad. So much to the point where he carried himself noted as a Christian soldier enlisted in the Holy War against it, which led John to take 21 men, both black and white, to seize the U.S. Federal Armory, which is known as the Raid on Harper's Ferry. General Robert E. Lee and the United States Marine Corps pulled up and started passing out hats, made sure they gave one to two of John Brown's sons, captured John, said, no, we ain't gonna kill you. We're gonna put you on display in front of everybody because we don't want people thinking they should fight against slavery, because that's a no-no. Makes you ask yourself, if this good white Christian man died for such a noble cause, why didn't he have a national holiday? Or why isn't he on Mount Rushmore? Seeing as how two of the presidents on Mount Rushmore own slaves. Crazy thing, not sure if you guys ever noticed, but white people tend to follow men who harm others and harm men who help others. And seeing as how it's only like 4 other white abolitionists in U.S. history, statistically speaking, there's no good white men in U.S. history. And we know you guys love your statistics. That's why I understand how y'all don't think Charlie was racist. He was just using facts and stats. If black people are on 13% of the population, yet they commit 50% of the crimes, that must mean they like crime. Also, only 13% of the population, yet making up 53% of all exonerations since 1989 would suggest that they also love getting off of crimes that they didn't commit. But that's neither here nor there. Because from 1966 to 2024, white Americans make up 53% of all public mass shootings, which would suggest that they like popping innocent people. But I would assume that there's more nuance to that. I like how 82% of America's serial killers are white, which would suggest that they like to harm the innocent, vulnerable, and unsuspecting. But that's just what the stats saying, so I'm really not that sure. I like how white people make up 60% of all SA cases against children. How 75% of the offenders in child porn cases are white. That is just a stats and a fact. So if these few things suggest that this one culture loves guns and kids a little too much, no one can call me a racist for noticing a pattern either. I totally understand why y'all didn't think Charlie was a racist, because all he did was notice patterns. Shouldn't be surprised America doesn't know what a good white man looks like, because statistically speaking, we don't make them.
Because it's always crazy every time somebody talks about, well, it's Mount Rushmore or it's history, you know? Get over it. And then we start talking about the real shit of history and the result of what is happening today because of history. It's like we just don't want to have that conversation. Like now all the fucking history buffs just tone deaf. Like, again, stop the bullshit. Because I know myself, even when I'm having this conversation, even when it's not even about history or just about anything that's happening, of course, right now with America, people be so motherfucking blind. You be like, bro, you're not even ready to have this conversation, understand what the fuck is going on. So why are we having this conversation?